Good morning, everyone. Myself, Love from Santosh Medical College. Today, I'll be talking about a small topic in ophthalmology, that is blepharitis. So, let us start. So, blepharitis is defined as a subacute or chronic inflammation of the lid margins and is divided into anterior blepharitis and posterior blepharitis. Anterior blepharitis is further classified into three categories: bacterial blepharitis, seborrheic blepharitis, and parasitic blepharitis. Bacterial blepharitis is also known as chronic anterior blepharitis and is a common cause of ocular discomfort and irritation. The disorder usually starts in childhood and may continue throughout life. So, if the treatment is not given in early stages, it can become worse and can develop into different complications like eyelid margin infections like trichiasis and madarosis. Clinical features: it includes chronic irritation, itching, mild lacrimation, gluing of cilia, mild photophobia, and these symptoms are characteristically worse in the morning. Remissions and exacerbations in the symptoms are quite common. Signs: yellow crusts are seen at the root of the cilia which glue them together. Small ulcers which bleed easily are seen on removal of the crusts. Red thickened lid margins are seen with dilated blood vessels, and mild papillary conjunctivitis and conjunctival hyperemia are common associations. So here we can see the lid margins. They are swollen with dilated vessels and have a gluey appearance, and the eyelashes are sticking to each other. Treatment: so first of all, we have to have a good hygiene. Then crusts should be removed after softening and hot compresses with solution of 3% soda bicarbonate. Avoid rubbing of the eyes or fingering of the lids. Antibiotics should be used as follows: antibiotic ointment should be applied on the lid margin immediately after removal of crusts, at least twice daily. Antibiotic eye drop should be instilled 3 to 4 times in a day. Oral antibiotics such as erythromycin or tetracyclines may be useful. Oral anti-inflammatory drugs like ibuprofen help in reducing the inflammation, and weak topical steroids such as fluorometholone may be required in patients with papillary conjunctivitis and marginal keratitis. So now the next topic is seborrheic blepharitis, and is a primary anterior blepharitis with some posterior spillover. It is usually associated with seborrhea of scalp, that is dandruff. Some constitutional and metabolic factors play a part in its etiology. In it, glands of Z's secrete abnormal excessive neutral lipids which are split by Corynebacterium acne into irritating free fatty acids. Its symptoms are usually patient complain of deposition of whitish material at the lid margin associated with mild discomfort, irritation, occasional watering, and a history of falling of eyelashes. So therefore, if there is an history of falling of eyelashes, that means it can lead to madarosis, which is the complete absence of eyelashes. Then accumulation of white dandruff-like scales are seen on the lid margins among the lashes. On removing these scales, underlying surface is found to be hyperemic with no ulcers. The lashes fall out easily but are usually replaced quickly without distortion. In long-standing cases, lid margin is thickened and the sharp posterior border tends to be rounded, leading to epiphora. So here we can see dandruff-like scales on the lid margins and gluey appearance similarly to that of the bacterial blepharitis. Treatment: general measures include improvement of health and balanced diet. Associated seborrhea of the scalp should be adequately treated. Local measures include removal of scales from the lid margins with the help of lukewarm solution of 3% soda bicarbonate or a baby shampoo, and frequent application of combined antibiotic and steroid eye ointment at the lid margins. Complications are similar to that of bacterial blepharitis. That means if no treatment given, then it can lead to madarosis and trichiasis, all these eyelid margin infections. Then we come to the next topic, that is parasitic blepharitis. Theriasis palpebrum, which is due to the thyris was to that crab louse, very rarely to the head louse. In addition to features of chronic blepharitis, it is characterized by presence of nets at the lid margin and at roots of eyelashes. Pediculosis refers to the infestation by Pediculus humanus corporis, that is the head louse, and if heavily infested, the lice may spread to the involved lashes. Clinical features: symptoms such as chronic irritation, itching, burning, and mild lacrimation. Signs: lid margins are red, swollen, and inflamed, just like other parasitic and bacterial blepharitis. Lice incurring lashes with their claws may be seen on slit lamp examination. Nits may be seen as opalescent pearls adherent to the base of the cilium. Conjunctival congestion may be seen in long-standing cases. So treatment consists of mechanical removal of nits with forceps followed by rubbing of antibiotic and ointment on lid margins and delousing of the patient, other family members, clothing and bedding. So I hope you understood. Thank you.